Welcome to First Star Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast. I'm your host, James Gardner, certified athletic therapist, certified strength and conditioning specialist, yoga instructor, human being. This platform, for the pros, by the pros, anybody in the performance space, and beyond. Welcome here to share in the stories of professionals, experiences, journeys, learning along the way. It's a platform to connect, to network, and to be a part of a community that cares, with conversations that matter, experiences that resonate, and generate ideas, thought-provoking, organic dialogue, passionate pros. Brought to you as always by First Star Therapy, Mobility Tape, Epic, and Benchmark Athletics. In association with the Canadian Athletic Therapists Association. It's First Star Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being a part of it. All right, this is Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast. We are going to go quick hitter style in a panel. We're going to start with Mark Lefebvre. He's going to introduce the topic of the panel discussion, and then we're going to go around the room, country to country, where you're from, what organization you're with, and then some takeaways from the panel. Mark, over to you.
My name is Mark Lefebvre. I'm from Mount Royal University, and I was busy doing some research, and I came across an article that talked about international core competencies for evidence-based practice. But no athletic therapists or trainers were involved in that consensus process. And so it got me thinking, what are we doing in athletic training and therapy across our global spot? And should we or could we be thinking about maybe doing something ourselves for athletic training and therapy? So each person went around and they talked about their program, what they do, how they deliver evidence-based practice, and how they assess it.
And if you weren't here, we'll give you a quick hitter on this one with the panel going from my left to right. Here we go.
My name is Colin King, program director at Acadia University in Nova Scotia, Canada. So here representing CATA as well as World Federation. Really enjoyed being part of the panel. Takeaways for me, I think two things. One was very interesting to see similarities from program to program. Even though differences between country, differences between undergrad versus graduate program, but we saw some similarities in how the idea of evidence-based practice, evidence-informed practice is situated throughout programs, but also some great questions and discussion from the crowd. Made me kind of reflect on some things that I do at a programmatic level. And especially around the clinical educator, the clinical preceptor, and some of the pushback that we might get from the program level of using evidence-based practice at that actual real life preceptor level. So that was kind of some of my takeaways.
Hi, I'm Alan Monroe. I'm from Liverpool Hope University in the UK, and I'm also representing BASRAT. My sort of key takeaways from that were that, again, a little bit like Colin said, there's sort of a lot of similarities in terms of the types of things that we're doing around the world, but also the idea of bringing sort of everything together from a clinical practice, actual research evidence, and the patient perspective as well, and sort of bringing that all together as part of evidence-based practice, and also trying to encourage that lifelong learning and sort of continuing professional development and education all the way through your professional life.
Great. This is Sarah Manspeaker from Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the US. And one of my takeaways was really about how to embed evidence-based practice, evidence-informed practice across your entire program so that students really go from building a knowledge foundation to really applying it to their clinical practice with their preceptors and being able to take that into their transition to practice. A lot of the things that we discussed was the opportunity to then disseminate that work to give students a little extra exposure and a little extra motivation, if you will, in order to do the work and have a place to put it at the end. And all of that boils back to bridging that gap between research and clinical practice, which we do not just for our students, but for those who have been practicing for years as well, which really allows us to put evidence into our entire profession.
Hey everyone, this is Jim Mensch. I'm from the University of South Carolina. I'm the program director in athletic training in the U.S. And this was a fantastic panel. I enjoyed learning what other universities and other programs from all across the world are doing to implement evidence-based practice into their programs. And what I found is that it's more than just a checkbox of something that they feel they need to do for accreditation, but it's part of the fabric of their program, and it's part of the fabric of us as clinicians. And we want our patients to feel good about the fact that clinicians are integrating evidence-based practice into their practice. And that's good for so many different reasons. So it's been a lot of fun.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard Moss. I'm Associate Professor at the University of Nottingham and also the Accreditation Lead for BASRAT, so representing the UK. I think after presenting and preparing the presentation, I think the conversations we had afterwards with the audience and some of the questions we had really started to push us forward, thinking about how we really encourage evidence-based practice as a lifelong skill and how we kind of keep it going for the future. So I think one of the big take-homes for me was just starting to really acknowledge where students fit into this process, and how if we can get the process right during the educational stage, then hopefully that becomes a self-propelling kind of future process, really, where actually the students become the resource. If we encourage people to want to produce evidence and want to engage in that research process, then actually as professions right across the world, then all of us will benefit from that, and it will really kind of push us forward and give us that exposure on an international scale, and hopefully just keep the professions going for the future.
I'm Lynn Lefebvre, and I am a professor at Mount Royal University, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. What I really took away from the podcast, or sorry, I'm bad like that. You'll cut it out. What I took away from the session was that it's really great to see how evidence-based practice is being embedded into all programs. It really makes a difference in healthcare outcomes, patients getting services that make a difference in quality care. And it would be really great to see how we can all work together to really bring that deeper into the community.
All right, a pretty rich topic in, I don't know, a minute each, something like that. So if you're listening, thank you for listening. This is at least a touch point, so you can see what's going on a higher level, on a grander scale across the globe. This is what this has been all about. I appreciate your time. I know this isn't easy at the end of however many days you've been here. It's been a great World Congress. Mark, for taking this on, for putting the panel together, for doing the work that some of us that are in the trenches have really no clue how to do. So it is important that we have a panel like this, reaching out, connecting as quickly as this one has gone by. You just did the presentation for a group of students, for a group of professionals, for a group of educators, and that's important. Our profession matters. Evidence-based practice will always matter. It will always inform us. For our listeners, for you, the guests, for everybody that's been a part of World Congress, thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. I would love to do this on a bigger scale, where you're not just on the hot seat doing it for a minute, but we can dive in a little bit deeper, hopefully reach a greater audience. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks again for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of this community. Check us out online, firststartherapy.com. That's FIRSTAR therapy.com. Or email us with feedback, consult@firststartherapy.com, CONSULT@firststartherapy.com, on Instagram @firststar.therapy, and our podcast host @letschat.at. This is First Star Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast.